Isn't it amazing to be in the miracle of life, forever evolving, unfolding, and becoming? It's been really a blessing over the years that Chelsea's been singing for us, to see her come in and be a little bit afraid of us, not sure who we were, and then to celebrate her relationship with her beloved, and now to celebrate Gloria. Life and love is unfolding through her and as her. We celebrate with you, and we celebrate this new, wow, where'd that come from? This new beautiful birth that you are bringing into this. And I can't think of a child that would be more blessed to have a mom as beautiful and holy and sacred as you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Almost wanted to say, will you be my mom? One of my favorite quotes of all time is by the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. I'm sure you've heard the name before. You've probably heard the quote before, but I want it to be the foundation of the house that we build today. Let's go ahead and put it up there and let's read it together. And those that were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Anybody ever feel like that? In a world that seems to be a little bit messed up, you're dancing anyway. You're singing anyway. You're going through life and you're bringing more light and love, even when it doesn't make sense to the people around you. That's our job, is to bring light to the darkness. That's our job, is to bring hope to the hopeless. To be the ambassador of what is good and holy in the world, even when the rest of the world cannot see it. Every advancement throughout time, since the beginning of time, every quantum leap in wisdom, in knowledge, in evolution, in possibility, in innovation, in invention and healing was made by people who heard music nobody else could hear, and who danced regardless of the judgment of the world, regardless of the judgment of anybody. They said, I'm hearing the music and I'm going to dance. That's how we evolve as a human race. This Advent season, I want you to hear music like you've never heard it before, and I want you to be the fool and to dance. Even if you don't think you can dance, go ahead and move your body to the rhythm of something higher and better and more beautiful and more holy and more sacred. We are entering the season of Advent, a season of possibility, a season of singing and music and dancing, a season of inner music that creates outer dancing and outer change and outer miracles. How many people in the room still believe in miracles? That's why I'm here. You know, Einstein said you can live life two ways, as if nothing is a miracle or as if everything is a miracle. I don't care which one you live, but just be the miracle. And hold on to the truth that you can be the miracle, that you are the Christ in form being born. Each moment that you allow yourself to listen to the music, each moment that you choose to dance anyway. It's a season of celebrating the great alchemist, Jesus the Christ. The anointed one, that's what Christ. We learned last week, Christ just means the anointed one. And then we were a little bit on the edge and we said, yes, we too are also anointed. Yes? How many of you lived your life this week as if you are chosen and anointed and appointed to be the light of the world? Well, the good news is there's still several weeks of Advent. So the 4 or 5 of you that put your hand up and said, yeah, baby, I'm dancing, please go infect the rest of this congregation. Because everybody in this room has been anointed and appointed. And we claim that about ourselves and invited ourselves into a deeper listening to the music that maybe we hadn't heard all year long, but to a deeper listening and a dancing experience of greater action. Yes, I'm going to talk about action today. It's one of my sermons that you get a lot of, that faith without works is dead. Faith without works is stagnant. Put your body behind your prayers. Put your feet behind your meditations and allow this gift of a beautiful body that has been given to you to be active and moving and stirring in the world. Advent is a season of divine ideas. We teach in the Unity Movement that everything in this world is based upon a divine idea in the mind of God. Everybody in this room is a divine idea. Humanity is a divine idea. The Christ, the light, the chair, the candles, the child, the beautiful child that read the poem, the beautiful child that was singing along with his mother. His or her mother? His mother, I got it right. It's all a divine idea, and our job is to be the portal through which divine ideas are made manifest on earth. Our job is to be the vehicle and to consciously, with deep awareness, realize that we are the vehicle, we are the Mary, we are the Joseph, where the Christ can be born onto humanity. Not 2,000 years ago, but right here, right now, in your skin, in the seat that you're sitting in. So turn to somebody to your left and your right and say, you are Mary, you are Joseph, and you are the Christ. You know, we have been accused of being multi-personalities here at Unity North. So you could be Mary, Joseph, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the Christ and the light all at the same time. Yes? The divine ideas that we're working with today are hope and faith. Say that with me. Hope and faith. Are they the same thing? You could say that. Good answer, whoever said no. It could be a yes, it could be a no. Today I want to explore these two divine ideas and see how they are both partners, but very unique, different ways of approaching the Advent season. They are two sisters that serve as a foundation of change, as a foundation of miracle making, of living and exploring and advancing and evolution and growth. Two sisters that can and will create miracles by right of our consciousness here today. Yes? So what is the miracle that you're creating today as Mary, as Joseph? What is the miracle that you are dancing into expression? I want to hear it. This is not listen to a monologue. I want to hear from you. What miracle are you creating this season? Joy, community. What else? Family. Peace of mind. Vision, giving. All of the above are divine ideas that you are downloading onto the planet, that you have been selected and anointed to bring to the planet. Those and 1,000 more. Yes? Are you willing to accept the responsibility? You know, there are people that say that Christmas, started when there was a knock at an innkeeper's door. Oh, no. No, the birthing began long before that. And I won't get into the details of how that baby came to be. We're not going to argue about that. But there was a divine appointment when a young teenage lady said, yes, I'm willing to be that vehicle and that portal through which something is born. We're not going to argue about the details, but we're going to certainly say that that is an example for us in life to be the miracle. To bring the miracle, we have to say yes. How many of you are really willing to do the work, to change at depth, to accept the responsibility that you are the light of the world? Are you really, a little more reluctance there. Well, I'll get back to you on that. You know, what would have happened to the planet if Mary had said at some point, you know, that's an interesting idea. I'll get back to you on that. God, I'll have my people call your people. And I might want to have a conversation with my husband. You know, it's not just the divine feminine that said, yes, there was a man. And we talked about this in the first service. The culture ostracized these people. They were ostracized. Joseph had every right to get up and pack up and leave. Yet he also said yes. And so there must be a marriage of the divine masculine and the divine feminine for the miracle to occur. There must be a marriage of hope and faith. There must be a marriage of mind and heart for the good to come into expression. And like any miracle, like any music, are you listening to the music? It needs structure. We talked about that a few months ago. Music needs structure in order to evolve, in order to birth and to become a structure of form, a structure of knowing, and yes, a structure of action. Say that with me, a structure of action. This morning we're going to talk about hope and faith not as esoteric ideas, not ethereal ideas that feel good in this room and then we go out into the world and we forget them. I'm talking about practical application of spiritual law. Practical application of the yes that you give to Spirit being made a yes on earth as you take the steps and you take the actions and the movement in your life to dance, and to dance even when it's not comfortable. So we have these concepts of faith and hope not as esoteric ideas but as dimensional practical realities. So we're going to talk about dimensions today. Hope is a horizontal dimension. Hope is an earthly experience. I'm talking about hope on our day-to-day, walking through the earth, being a human being. Partnering with the sister called faith, which is a vertical dimension, a vertical reality. Now, we know the symbol of the cross, and I always get a little bit irritated when I go to these walk through Bethlehems at churches around here, and I think, this was so beautiful, and I get to the end, and there's a person hanging on the cross. Can we just spend a moment on the birth and the creativity? And the reality, the cross that I know doesn't have a man on it. In some of these places, there's a man still on it. I'm saying that's not the end of the story. The end of the story is the man off the cross, the Christ elevated, the light elevated. And yes, there will be times when you are, I love that I got an amen there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The reality is, let's just spend a little time in the birthing, the cross as a symbol of creativity, a symbol of birth. Let's contextualize it a little bit differently. We have the horizontal, hope, partnering with the sister of faith, and you have a cross, and in the center is where miracles happen, where hope and faith are so active and alive and activated in our minds and in our hearts that something is being birthed through us. Yes? It's much less. The cross is not a symbol for me of sacrifice and suffering, but it is a symbol of creativity and birth as two-dimensional realities come into play and we meet in the middle. And that's where fourth dimension, fifth dimension, seventh dimension, and up and up and on come into play. We're not defined by the human experience, are we? Do we always know that? I don't always know that. I had several human experiences this week, and I was anything but ministerial in those moments. I lost my vertical reality for a moment, but I picked myself up, got up, stood up, and said, oh, I remember who I am. And I met at the cross once again. In Hebrews chapter 11, St. Paul writes this. I'm going to invite you to put that scripture up there. Let's read it together. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. In the first half of this statement, substance and hope are in relationship. Substance. What is substance? Wood. Everything in this world has some kind of substance, and it's put together. And our hope is the understanding that as we dream, as we vision, as we allow ourselves to be the portal, that this beautiful earth home that we are in will provide all the substance we need to have that dream. Anybody live in a house? All the substance of that house were provided by the earth, by the horizontal experience. We're provided by the care of an earth home that is absolutely there for each and every one of us. It's a partnership between longing, I long for something, I long for the house, I long for the better life, and the matter that is provided to me to create externally manifestation. There's a lot of people that say, you know, you don't teach manifestation like other unity ministers, and they're absolutely right. I see a world so focused only on the one-dimensional reality. I can get the car, I can get the house, I can get the relationship, and they're living on the horizon, and that's it. There's no vertical reality. I'm saying there has to be a vertical reality, or you're just a greedy son of a gun. I get more, I have more. And there are those that are criticized for a prosperity gospel. I'm going to challenge that idea a little bit, but those who are living only on a horizontal reality are coming from the ego and the mind. And it's all about getting and claiming, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want to be real clear here today. There's nothing wrong with that. Earth and desire, you're here for a purpose. Go ahead and have desire. Desire for more stuff, for more things, for more experiences, for more relationship. Go ahead and have them because it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Didn't say, no, you only get to have a little bit. I don't believe in a God that wants you to suffer. I don't believe in a God that wants you to play small. Playing small is actually a disservice to the presence of God that chose to do business as you. Oh, no, not mine. No, it is yours. Go for it. And I'm not going to begrudge you as a spiritual person that you're going after making the best life for yourself when you share it with others. When the home that you built is opened up to the unhoused. When the home that you've built is opened up for a greater expression of love in that home. That desire to know that life can be better on the horizon. I'm looking ahead, life can be better, and all the tools I need, all the substance I need will be provided just on this horizontal level. Yes? It's a hope that my life can be better. And as a potter, you know, this is the kingdom of heaven has been given to us. God, life, source, substance has been put into our hands. You're sitting at a potter's wheel, and it's just a big lump of clay. But you have the ability to mold that clay the way you like. I went to see an art display just down the street at the Art Center. Sonia Osio was there showing her art, and it was beautiful, beautiful stuff. And around each corner, there was probably 30, 40 artists that were absolutely displayed. And after each corner, it was like, ooh, look what's been created out of a lump of clay. It was the same substance underneath. Yet somebody chose to take that clay and make it an angel, make it a dog, make it a tree, make it modern art. But every corner, there was a different expression. I was a little bit partial to Sonia Osia's art, but I'm a little partial to her anyway because I think she hangs the moon. But the reality is there was beauty everywhere I turned. Unique people who said, I'm going to create out of a lump of clay. That's what we're called to do at Advent. To know that the essence and the presence of God itself as energy, as force, as fire, as possibility has been placed on your potter's wheel, and you get to determine what you're going to do with it. And what I love about that is by grace, you make a bowl, you don't like the bowl, you can start again. A new choice. At the center of the horizontal and the vertical is the place of choice. It is the place of grace. We get to choose the life we are creating. And those who are only on the horizontal level, defining themselves by the human experience, they're suffering. I got no choice. I'm a victim of the world and what it's showing me. You're not a victim to anything. And if I give you any message today, it's to know that you are empowered by the presence of God doing business as you to manifest the life that you want. To manifest the life that you desire. All the tools of creation have been placed into your mind, your heart, and into this body. Put your hands out there. I am the potter. Together. God is the clay. Wow, that's a little bit different than they teach in other places. Because it means responsibility. I don't like what I'm creating. I can do it again. No, I can blame God. Darn clay, you should have been something different. Doesn't work that way. The clay is going to respond to your hands. The clay of life, of love, of light, of God, of substance is going to respond to the direction you give it. You are an artist, yes? Every one of you is an artist, and the life that you have created is either a work of art, by your definition. Matters not what anybody else says about it. Your life is a work of art. And if you don't like the work of art, start again. Because each day, each breath, each thought, each feeling has a new lump of clay for you to manifest life. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Substance and hope together. In the second half of that scripture, we read the words, the evidence of things not seen. Does that mean blind faith? That's what it's been interpreted out. Oh, I'm just going to have faith that God's going to provide it. I'm going to maybe define that a little bit differently for you. It's a connection to the higher vibration, a vertical reality that I am connected to the mind of God, to the divine ideas been downloaded into my experience that does not rely on my five senses. Is not defined by the horizontal experience at all. It is a vertical awareness that it's already done in the mind of God. So the dream and the miracle that you mentioned earlier, I want you to say with me, in the mind of God, it's done. Together? And if you don't like the word God, that's okay. In the mind of the one, it's done. That rhymes better. In the mind of the one, it's done. Together? In the mind. That's a vertical reality. That's a reality of truth that is partnering with the earth. So God and the earth, the one and earth, are partnering for you to have the life that you want. Putting the clay into your hands. It's a living in the mind of God rather than the mind of limitation. Limitation, endless possibility. It is internal evidence of what's over the next hill before I get there. Any hikers in the room? Sure. You already know what's on the other side of the mountain before you get there. You're living in the energy, the feeling. The world was living in the vibration of the birthing of a light on the planet before it showed up, before a man showed up, before a consciousness was changed. So I understand the good that's on the other side of that mountain before it shows up. But I have to take a step to get there, don't I? I'm going to wish myself on the other side of that massive mountain. I don't want to hike up the hill. So let me sit here and meditate. Nope, I'm not there yet. Let me sit here and pray. Nope, I'm not there. What I'm talking about is a connection with God that has me already living internally in what is next before it arrives. The lump of clay is not a lump of clay. It's done. It's complete. And I allow my body to simply be the ambassador of what's already living in me. in every cell of my body, my mind, my heart, and my spirit. So the miracle that you talked about earlier, that you threw into the environment, already lives as a reality at a higher dimension of being. Advent is both an internal and an external arrival. Let's say this together. Advent, both an internal and an external arrival. Everything in this world was created twice, first in mind, then in reality. The vertical reality must be there. If you cannot envision it, if you cannot welcome it into your field and live and breathe and have your being in that vision, it will not happen horizontally. It cannot happen on earth. So the Advent we're talking about, the birthing of the light, the Christ, is an internal experience first and foremost. Christmas must happen in you. Or whatever holiday. Kwanzaa must happen in you first. Hanukkah must happen within you first before it is a physical reality. Therefore, the vertical is important. We cannot put the cart before the horse. We cannot put effect before the cause. We are the cause of a new reality for ourselves individually and for the world. I'm living it, I'm knowing it, I'm experiencing it before it was manifested. Well, there we go. He said the word, manifestation. Absolutely. I teach manifestation every day from this platform. Manifest it first within and quit worrying about the effects on the manifest world out here. It will show up as a result of what you're manifesting in here. The vertical guides the horizontal, and we meet in the center. That cross is a symbol of birthing and expression, and both must be present. So let's explore the horizon a little bit. No matter where you're standing on earth, no matter where you happen to be, Timbuktu or right here at Unity North, there is a limit to how far you can see on the horizon, yes? It gets a little fuzzy. The sky and the land begin to melt together, and the sky and the ocean become one. We can only see as far into the horizon that our human eyes will allow, or our human wisdom will allow. But we must still look anyway. These are a gift. There is a stopping point, the edge of our wisdom, our capabilities, and the edge of our vision. As we dream of what can be tomorrow, what can be over the next mountain, we hope that it will be good. We hope it will be filled with blessings. We hope that there's going to be amazing experiences and adventures on the other side of the hill. But if all we do is hope as wishing, nothing happens. It requires dancing. Dance with me right now. Come on. Be willing to be the fool and dance. Okay, I got a couple of fools. Welcome to my foolish playground. Let them dance. Hey, there is Sonia Osil. You're here today. The angel of the Lord appeared. I got my trainer over there. Did Paul Feldman really get up and just show his hips? Baby, that's what we got to do. Be willing to look the fool, but you got to move your body. You got to be willing to do something. The longing requires external movement and travel. There's a box, right? I hope the box is still there in front of right here, in front of the Advent. You know, that box showed up today, and I know it's really good. I know there's a lot of good sweetness in there. I'm going to just hold that box is mine. Would you pray with me? Let's all pray together that box has goodness in it. Oh, yes, it's my box. It's good. It's holy. It's sacred. It's amazing. Yeah, that box is really good. Wonder what's in it. Now, a whole bunch of people on the planet are worrying about what's in the box, and they don't dance. They don't move. They don't pray and then move their feet. They don't get this beautiful gift of a body and use it. So there it sits. Close as the breath you just took. The miracle that you put out there is as close as the breath you took. But you got to be active. You got to take the steps. Without action, hope becomes merely wishing. Hope in its fullness and in its potential is being willing to look the fool and dance when nobody else can hear the music. It's willing to go, there might not be anything in that box, but I'm going to open it anyway. Open, open, open. Remember that commercial? Was it a Mervyn's commercial? Open, 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 open. I'm saying the universe is echoing back to us. Open, open, open. Open, 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 open. and move. That's what hope. The horizontal reality requires us to be active participants in the good and in the miracle. It's willing to go after the substance, the clay that might be in that box as a potter, to go to the store and buy the clay. Or as Sonia does, she'll often say, Papa, could you go pick up the clay for me and drop it off? You find a way to make the miracle happen and get to the box. Yes? Now, there's a whole bunch of people that would say that's a prosperity gospel. You know, I happen to like Joel Osteen a lot. And I really like Andy Stanley. And let me tell you, the Christian world has just beat them down, criticized them. And the more that they get beat down, the more they rise to the occasion. Because these two people and ministers and many others are preaching a prosperity gospel. You are meant to thrive. You are meant to experience the good in the box. And they will tell you that if you go pick up the box, that's of the devil. Man, I'm not listening to those people. It's of the devil. It's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Go get the box, pick it up, and start forming the clay. Have experiences. You are meant to have experiences and to surround yourself with prosperity and live in the fullness of the experience, the horizon, the earthly realm, and to experience the juice, suck the marrow out of this amazing experience. And those that are telling you that that's of the devil are a bit short-sighted. And I'll be so bold, I may take some heat for this, but maybe it's because don't get the box because I get the box and you have to suffer. I'm going to build my church and my empire. That's for me. And you're egotistical if you don't go for it. I need to go get another airplane. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll stop there. I just became very judgmental. Back up. My friend Lester reminded me to wear different glasses today. And so I'm going to step back from that one. But the reality is there is a necessary understanding that we are meant to be prosperous on this earthly plane. We are meant to experience the richness of being on earth. Yes? You know, there are 3 frogs sitting on a log, and there are 3 frogs. And 2 of those frogs decide to jump into the lake. How many frogs are on the log now? 3. You were here first service. It's an easy question because deciding is not doing. Plain and simple. I decide that I want the clay in that box. And I decide and I meditate and I pray, yet I never get it because people are telling me that's selfish. It is selfish if I don't open the box and then spread the good that's in that box to everybody. And I'm going to use her as an example again since she's in the room. Sonia Osio makes these beautiful creations. And the first thought in her head is, who can I give this to? She could sell them for $800, $900, $1,000, and she goes, who would be blessed by what I've just created? I want to be like Sonia when I grow up. And she lives a Christed way. The woman does not hurt for prosperity in her life. She can travel anywhere on the planet whenever she wants and have a ticket ready to go. And it's because she goes, who will be blessed by my creation? You see, that's where the prosperity gospel finds its roots and its meaning. I create things to share with the world and to raise the vibration, the creativity, and the love on the planet. I'm jumping into the lake, and I'm inviting everybody to jump into the lake with me, and let's dance like a frog in the middle of the lake. Faith, the vertical reality. Anybody know that the people who are wandering through the desert, this is what in the Bible Moses was. He was depending strictly on a horizontal reality. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. He never gets to the promised land because he's trying to do it all on his own. There must be a vertical reality. The Father and I are one. This is the Christ consciousness that was born. The energy of a vertical understanding and dimension is involved in my horizontal steps in my life. Jesus, the great example that we're celebrating, a man who was anointed the Christ. It was a great example. He very intentionally informed his horizontal walk with a vertical mindset. Where did he go? Where did he go? What did he do? He went to the high place. He went to the mountain. He went to the upper room. This is telling us there must be a vertical reality and dimension component to our creative process, yes? So where do you go? And this is not a rhetorical question. I want to know where you go. Where is your upper room? Did somebody say in the car? God bless you. I need to sit at your feet and learn how to do that. Where do you go? The garden. You go outside. You find the place that is conducive to the birthing process. And that's home to you. David Castledini is sitting right there. I know where first he goes. He's going to the forest. Here I am. I feel home. I have a vertical reality, and the trees remind me of a vertical reality. I'm not here alone. I'm not doing this birthing process alone. But there's an energy and a power working through me and as me. Deeper question, where do you go internally? Your heart? Right here? Heart? I want you to answer that question in such a way that this Advent season that something beautiful is born. I know where I go externally, I know where I go internally, and magic happens horizontally and vertically, and I meet at the center of that cross, and that's where creation happens. That's where miracles happen. Yes? Each step into the horizon must be anchored, informed, and empowered by a vertical reality. My hopeful words are connected to deeper truths. These human words are connected to deeper truth. Let's read this quote together. My hopeful actions are blanketed with the truth that I am living in the mind of God as a current reality, not a distant one. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. I'm keeping peace on earth at bay. I like to sing now. Now there is peace on my little plot of earth, in the garden, in the forest, in the car. That right now there is peace on earth because I am the Mary and the Joseph and the Christ, and I'm the donkey, I'm the wise one, I'm the shepherd, I'm whatever it takes to follow the inner light. Because there's a vertical reality in partnership with the horizontal reality. And here's a reality that I want you to know. The higher you go, the farther you see, right? Basic law. The higher you go, the farther you're going to see. So if I want to see higher, I cannot see to where the journey is over the mountain. Let me climb a pole. Already, you've increased the ability to see farther into the horizon. Well, David's going to go climb the tree. Let me go climb the tree and get really high. I can now see farther. Get in an airplane. Don't you love that view when you get in an airplane and you can see the arc of the earth? Suddenly, things are clearer. Destinations are clearer. How to get from point A to point Z is much clearer. I'm saying let's get in a spaceship. Let's consciously go to a cosmic level and rise above the earthly experience at a vertical level that now I can be one with the entire horizontal experience. I can begin to see where I need to take the next step to get the good that is waiting for me. The higher you go, the farther you're going to see. I think it was Zig Ziglar who said that your attitude determines your altitude. I think that's a pretty good statement. Your attitude on the horizontal plane, what you were thinking, what you were feeling, what you were welcoming into your environment on the horizontal plane, that attitude is going to increase the altitude. I can now see farther, but I like to take Zig Ziglar a little farther because it's a great circle. On the horizontal plane, my attitude is guiding my altitude, and the higher I go, my altitude then increases the magnitude of the miracle, the magnitude of the expression, the magnitude of the relationship, the magnitude of the job, the magnitude of whatever happens to be for you is now expanded. The view is like looking at the earth. Oh, this is what it means. This is what it's about. I can do this. It's an awareness of the Christ that, oh my gosh, as good as life is, it's 100 times better when I have this view. Anybody ever had that view before? That's the view, that's the miracle I want us to have this Christmas, and not just be another passing, oh, aren't the lights pretty? Wasn't the carol pretty? If that's what you get, that's great. That's a very horizontal reality. Let this Christmas and this Advent be a vertical reality where we can see the magnitude of what is possible, not just for you, but for the earth. Einstein said this. Let's go put one more quote up there, and the band, you can come back up now. Let's read it together. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. Plain and simple. I'm having an earthly experience. And I will match the vibration of a God awareness, a power, a good, a holiness, a sacredness. And when they meet in the center, life happens. Life begins like a machine to pop on all cylinders. That's our job this Advent. I'm going to rephrase Albert Einstein. Yes, that is blasphemy if you ever want to say it. But for the point, what he's saying there is another way. When I am in the vertical vibration of faith, I become a hopeful magnet. And life comes. Miracles occur. And the impossible becomes the possible. Say that with me. The impossible becomes the possible. That's what Jesus did. He's our example. We're called to do the same. The good in that place that I am seeking is now seeking me. Because I am at a vibration of the good is now out to bless the whole world. I can share it with Marilyn. I can share it with Dee. I can share it with Christine, who's dancing. I can share it with Paul Feldman as he dances. And we dance together. And we come to a higher and deeper reality that we belong to each other. I'm saying raise the vibration and know that the good that you are seeking, the health you are seeking, the prosperity you are seeking, the box that you are seeking is seeking you. One thing we teach in this universe, it's cause and effect. I take one step towards my good, that good is taking 1,000 steps towards me. And so rather than staying at the top of the stairs going, I wish that box would make it to me, I wish that good would get to me, I know it's going to be wonderful and great, I take a step. And what happens, you are now a magnet, a holy magnet. You can call this the law of attraction. I like to call it the law of magnetization. The law of vibration, it's spiritual law and it's ripe. But the possibility that in this room right now, as I take a step, somebody could go over there, pick up that box, and bring it to me. Somebody in this room could walk over there right now, pick up that box as I take another step, and meet me halfway. That's what community is about. Somebody could. Of all people in this room, she's the one. I take a step towards good. Wait a minute, don't leave. Don't leave, Kim. Come stand right here. Now the good and the box has been shared, and two of us have partnered in the miracle that we are praying for. Two of us have partnered in the possibility of what might be in this great chest. She's probably not going to want to eat this, but I bet her kids will. The reality is, I get some great good. Oh, there's some really good sweet chocolate. Belgian seashells. Representation of sweetness, a representation of the ocean. And I partnered with Kim Strickland as the presence of God, as the Christ. So when I get my good, she gets her good too. And those of you who didn't come up, I'm sorry, we're out. I want this to be a reality that the prosperity gospel is about creating some good for Kim Strickland, as much as it is from creating some good for me. This is the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of sharing. I'm going to have a little music behind, it would be great. Our job this holiday season is to recontextualize that cross. Let it be a part of the story. And let's meet in the middle. Let's meet in the place that you and I are the same person. There's only one of us here, the Christ, the Buddha, the light, the Atman, the Tao, the one. And when I take a step, and you take a step, and Paul dances, and Chris dances, Michael dances, somehow there is an exponential good, and we can see above the horizon and beyond the horizon that peace on earth, peace in Israel, peace in Ukraine, peace for the people of Palestine and Hamas. Really? Yes, really. People in Russia, yes, because we're above the fray and the horizon is now contextualized by a greater power that's more powerful than bombs, more powerful than hate, more powerful than duality. And so our prayer today is open the eyes. I open the eyes of my heart that my vertical reality and my horizontal experience is birthing something new and beautiful.